What's up, guys? Welcome back to JSig Poker, where I give you tips, tricks, and strategies on how you guys can get better at PLO. If you guys want to join a fun club, hit me up on Instagram, Acoustic Shredder. I'll get you guys in. They got anywhere from 5, 10, 10, 20 PLO tourneys. Cash outs are free. Deposits are, you know what I mean. There's no charges to anything, none of that. So definitely hit me up. Best games are always going at night, you guys, so keep that in mind. But let's continue reviewing a PLO 25K championship. It's a final table. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players left. Sean Winter just busted with pocket aces.
You can tell Seth Davies is a regular.
We got Cipolla here.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's exactly what.
As the big stack, playing pretty well. And he's just going to be raising any 4 here, being the big stack and putting pressure on the small stack Davies, and I do like it. I also don't mind just flatting as well.
The short stack at the table. He's getting the odds and he has position. He does make this call. I can see that.
Yeah, Davies just has to call with this king high suit with 5, 6, 3 being connected, and now he flops bottom 2 with the backdoor flush draw. And a king. He could hit a king. Cipolla asking what the pot is, and it's 280. And yeah, you can kind of go a couple of ways: check call or check jam, or just pot.
And I think in this case, if Sammy elects to bet, which he probably will, he has a 10 blocker and a 4 blocker. Actually, he goes for the pot size bet, so I think that sort of implies he might not fold against the jam. But regardless,
yeah, I mean, it looks fine to me. Even if the guy is 10-5, 10-3, you still have outs. You still have backdoor flush draw. And yeah, it just goes in pretty standard from both players. Davies, you can't just call and then see a terrible turn and fold a bunch of turns. You'd be losing a lot of chips. It's better just to go all in because Cipolla can have any 10, overpairs with gut shots, pairs with straight draws, just straight draws.
When 2 players see the flop in PLO, you will see usually some blood, and this is a prime example, unavoidable spot for both players.
He might even just be pure bluffing sometimes, you know? So Davies has to hold here, 59%.
The Finnish school of poker does always want a sweat. That's all they want. They're never too greedy, but they just want a little taste.
See a queen of clubs up there.
Just keep them in action. All right, Cipolla looking for.
Oh, a queen of diamonds. Okay. Cipolla's outs improves.
Davies has to fade basically half the deck here. He's only a slight favorite going to the river. Jack 10, King, Queen 9, or 4, and Cipolla will send him to the rail. River card is the 5.
Ooh, Davies holds. Huge hold for Davies at this final table to double up. Now he is in 4th place. But yeah, on to the next hand.
We got some very interesting hands in play here.
Yeah, so Cipolla pots with Jack 10, 10-9 double suited. Very nice hand. For definitely gonna 3-bet with pocket aces.
I think we will see a call.
And you know what? Honestly, I don't even mind flatting here with aces sometimes if you're not 3-betting a lot. Because if you 3-bet and they know you have aces, then you're gonna be able to get outplayed a ton of the time. So I don't like purely betting with aces, and if you're not 3-betting with other junk to balance it out. You guys hear me? People are gonna be able to outplay you.
The position and the stack sizes in play.
But if you've shown that you can 3-bet other hands like, you know, ace king 10 jack, ace king queen 10, king queen 10 jack, 7 8 9 10, 10 9 jack 8, right? Other hands like ace 5 5 6 double suited, then they may, you know, obviously your hand, you have a lot more coverage for future boards.
Here against each other with 2 very strong hands heading to the flop.
But yeah, he calls. For it's such a dry board, and it's such a good flop for your range that you just have to bet this. You just have to bet
But
it.
the main question you want to ask yourself is how many hands beat aces that raise pre and call a 3-bet on queen 7?
And I don't like that check.
Many. Pocket queens is a possibility, but queen 7, queen 3, or 7.
But at the same time, they're in a really big pot.
But Kurt wants to slow it down here a little bit and not necessarily build this pot with a hand that doesn't
Ooh.
play that well.
Look at that. Sipila turns a wrap.
Goes for the check back option. Huge turn.
But yeah, this is a really big pot. Both chip leaders both have to be very careful here.
I mean, 2 turns of wrap.
Now Sipla in a really tricky situation. Does he want to bet and possibly get jammed on? And then get it in? No, he decides to check. Yeah, I like the check.
Turn. He doesn't and check back.
Now if you're Firth, you just kind of got a value bet here.
River pairs to 7. It's time to value bet your aces.
Yep.
The question is, how big do you want to go?
No, I don't like that. I don't like the way he played this hand. And if you guys watched my last video, I feel like he played the hand poorly on that
So I think the way this hand
video as well.
is a testament to
It was a double suited aces hand, and he didn't play this hand well either.
ICM aware these 2 players are and have to be.
But hey, that's poker.
Big stacks on
You can win if you don't play well, even, you know.
2.5x. Sammy
All right, next hand here.
Call 4-3-bet.
So pull another good hand, ace 9 10 7 facing a raise on the button. Lee, good open. Davies, not a good hand.
Happens once a stream.
Yeah, it's got to fold that. Firth, yeah, another bad hand's got to fold that as well. Look at that visor though on Firth's icon right here. Look at that visor. That is some like.
Quite similar hands.
Oh man, it's like such a bro-ish
Sammy is in position.
icon.
Stick your legs on the wires.
All right, now if you're lay, you know,
9-8 range.
what are you gonna do with your 2 pair and
Sammy has a pair and an open.
you know, backdoor flush draw? I don't mind betting. I don't mind checking.
Just check. Obviously, you have a 2 pair. You can also bet.
Depends how your opponents are playing. If they're playing really tricky and giving you, putting pressure on you in a ton of spots, I don't mind check calling. But Lee decides to bet, and Sipla decides.
Actually, he does.
Oh no. Sipla decides to bet. And I don't mind that at all.
And I think this is the more standard play, theoretically speaking, to see here the check call of the flop. So
Because Sipla has backdoor flush draw open-ended with a 9.
they don't improve, but also
And Sipla may be looking to bluff here. This is a really good spot to bluff with the 10 blocker.
turn this into a
Lay shouldn't have a ton of 10 jack here.
have the best hand, which he does.
Lay can have a lot of hands like ace, 6, 7. You know, hands like king 8, king 9. They're just left in really tough spots. Now if you're lay, it's kind of hard to fold. Because you know what Sipla is repping. He's repping one hand, it's 10 jack. So every other hand is pretty much a bluff.
Drawing very thin against
And you beat all other bluffs, so you can't really fold.
special spot for sure.
And I do expect him to check call.
I think the theoretically correct play is to call like he does. He does have a jack.
And JNandez
Gotta give your opponent credit.
agrees with me.
Be aggressive and bluff.
Now Sipla has to get there.
This is a very
Oh,
well-played hand so far by both players, but River is a
and
disaster
that is why
because
it always pays off to be aggressive. That is one of the worst cards for lay,
there's only one
because now 7-10 gets there.
10. So this is the hand you can value bet. The cool thing about your hand
And
is
7-10 is a pretty big part of
you don't have a queen.
the bluffing
You
range.
have king, king, queen, queen, king as well is also possible hand that can check all the flop. So now the question is, how much do you bet so that you can still get called by a hand like 2 pair or a set? 1.5 in the middle, and he goes for like $1 million.
I think that's 950.
Wow.
Yep. So 2/3. Yeah.
Looks like a call me bet.
Seems like a blank. However, 7-5 and 10-7 gets there, it's hard to see it. It's so hard. You were focused on the Jack 10 by the turn, and now the river brings in the 6.
That's true. It is hard to see it. JNandez is right.
He does block
And this is a really big decision because Davies and Christopher has less chips than you,
It's really
even if you fold.
I honestly wouldn't know what to do myself here. This is not fun.
Feels like Cipolla, with his sizing, making it that much more complicated. And
Oh, he makes the call.
See the bad news, and Cipolla, maximum value for the fish.
Wow, Cipolla killing it.
Wow.
Killing it.
It just hurts a lot when you're right at the turn. You have the right read.
Big, big,
and
big
the
hand.
river definitely
Yeah,
applies
Cipolla's running away with this thing here.
in that middling stack size.
Alright, let's see what happens this hand. And I'll go over the rest of this video with you guys.
Christopher found the hand.
Oh yeah, Christopher 3-bets. I mean, raises. Christopher definitely gonna 3-bet in position on the big blind.
Not yet, because I think Ferd is going to call this with Jack 10 8-7. It's very reasonable.
You can have a hand like double-seated kings, double-seated queens. Sometimes this is probably yeah, aces though. Now if you're Firth, you can't get away because you have really good equity versus pocket aces. But at the same time, you're kind of dominated by. You have pretty good board coverage because he's going to have hands like ace, king, queen, 10 a lot.
Jack 10 combos.
Ace, king, queen, jack.
Oh, dang. There's the blood.
Yeah, this is a tough spot if you're Christopher. Super awkward.
Christopher is 1.2 behind.
He decides to check.
Is Christopher giving up on this hand immediately? Is the
Fold
is the likelihood of him having a 10 in this range so high, or which other pathways are there? Like it's sort of tough for me to see a way forward.
If you're Firth, I think you just got to
I was
bet.
just thinking if I get called or raised on the flop, it's bad news. So it's sort of a way ahead, way behind.
Like half
the flop.
pot,
He's just trying to pop.
400k,
Turn now is a king.
500k.
Ferd wants to start building this pot, and this is just really uncomfortable and tricky for Christopher. So
You can't fold.
He already has just the bluff catcher given the sizing choice of Ferd.
You can't fold. You just gotta. I mean, you gotta call at least one and kind of
Potentially a king.
the way you played this hand.
Telling
This is just a really bad spot.
Or better, and I'm trying to get all the chips in the middle. Christopher makes this call. Really nothing to blame there, and this river is probably going to save Christopher, so the spade rolls off. Now the only reason Christopher might call this, I don't think he will, is that he does have the ace of spades, which takes away some of the bluffs, and also some of the value of Ferd.
Yep.
Firth goes for it, puts Christopher.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Christopher, what do you beat absolutely no value hands. Obviously, it's a pure bluff catcher. You have ace of spades, and he does decide to make the quick muck. Nice hand. All right, so if you guys like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. And again, check me out on Instagram at Acoustic Shred, and I'll get you guys in the club. All right, peace out, you guys.